I was something Ali. I was like Shah Rukh. Ooh, Shah Rukh, Shah Rukh. Ooh, Shah Rukh ki mood, Shah Rukh ki dhoti. And Ali after 2 hours like, bas yaar ab, mat karo yaar. Like, take me to Mannat. I love Shah Rukh Khan.
I know.
Who doesn't, of course,
doesn't,
but
of course.
yeah.
But you should have me. I'm sure, of course, he'll reply, Richa. Look at you behaving like, no.
No. एक तरफा प्यार की
ताकत.
तुम क्या जानो रुद्रानी. I'm saying you'll be surprised how many times I got asked the same question. Are you actually joining politics? Are you actually going to be in politics? Which is such rubbish, I feel. There are people who have expressly worn sarees and change their entire demeanour and go up and down to the parliament saying we want to be in politics. Anyone who has any doubts, even now, should see them and accept their decision to be in politics and leave me alone. I want to be a producer who works with a lot of integrity.
100%.
Because I have suffered what happens when other people make big promises and try to be woke on Twitter and their checks bounce. Despite being sort of movie stars now, you will see us like calculating budgets for the events and trying to keep things intimate because we both didn't want a very loud tamasha or like, you know, that whole fairy tale, this is the biggest day of my life kind of narrative. We missed out on so many things we didn't do only.
Really?
Yeah, there was some chaos. I had to do one performance at the Sangeet. Then there was no song. So they were like, "Arey, kuch to kar do. Aap to actor ho, naach loge." We did a little jig to Ambarsari and came back.
Hello everyone, I'm Rani and welcome to Zoom Speak Easy. My guest today is a phenomenal woman. She has been charting her own path since eons now. She's been doing exactly what she wants. And she's a woman that we all should be very proud of. And we are, I'm of course talking about the very talented Richa Chadha. Hello.
Rani, what a great introduction.
True, every word. Has to be.
Thanks.
But charting your own path is never easy, no, Richa? Now when you look back, it's been worth the fight, isn't it?
I think, it's been worth the fight. And I feel like I didn't really fight per se. I just stuck to my guns and what I wanted to do. And I like it this way because then the success, the failures, they're all mine. And I've enjoyed my struggling days also. I've really enjoyed the F out of my struggle.
Really?
Yeah. It's a part of life. Now you reminisce over the times that, you know, maybe you were broke, maybe you were trying to save auto fare or go for an audition or splitting a house with 2 people. That kind of stuff. Now it's nostalgic. It's like cute memories. You know?
Yeah. Especially आज के दिन जब आपकी फिल्म बहुत अच्छा कर रही है.
Yes.
Fukrey 3 is back and
you know the person you were just mentioning before?
Yeah.
Success is the sweetest revenge.
Sure. Absolutely. Fukrey 3 being back and how is so important.
Yeah.
Because एक ऐसी फिल्म है जो कि फैमिली एंटरटेनर भी थी. And comedy and romantic films were slightly becoming lesser.
Yeah.
This year's been good that way, right?
Yeah.
तो ये बहुत जरूरी.
जरा बच के. This
Rocky Rani.
Yeah.
You know that rom-com zone.
I loved Rocky Rani.
So much fun.
Yeah.
It was just super. I think it's one of Karan's best work.
One.
Yeah. And Fukrey 3. तो जब ये अच्छा करती ना, then you also go back and sit saying, no, things are working.
Yeah,
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
है ना?
Yeah. I feel happy but our audience always has a palate for comedies, no?
Yeah.
They say, hasi to phasi, dari to phasi. As in horrors and comedies always work.
Yeah.
I've realized the importance of having a good banner back you because of my work with Excel and thanks to this film. Because they put all their might behind giving the film the visibility it needs during a release.
Yeah.
You realize how crucial it is to have the right minds push your content out, you know. So I think it's impossible in the crowded, cluttered media space today for any release to make any kind of noise. A, if there's no strong marketing for it, and B, if the film itself is not good.
And this worked out?
This worked out, yeah.
You know, like you rightly said, this character itself, I feel, has had its own journey along with you growing. I feel like वो जो होली start हुई थी, that होली also has progressed. अगर उसके 4 थे along with you as an individual from that time, it almost feels like आप दोनों की journeys parallelly चल रही थी, isn't it?
I don't know. मतलब in this part at least it was ironic for me. There was a wedding scene in the film, and we were also contemplating getting a date and getting our prep done for our wedding. So it was quite ironic.
It is.
Yeah.
It was quite ironic, and but the angle also, the angle was like लोग जो बोलते रहते हैं ना, रिचा पॉलिटिक्स ज्वाइन करेगी, लो होली नहीं तो कर ली थी इसमें.
पर क्यों बोलते हैं?
I don't know. I feel like just because you're opinionated, that's what. It doesn't have to be politics for that matter, really.
But Rani, there are people who have expressly worn sarees and changed their entire demeanour and go up and down to the parliament saying we want to be in politics. Anyone who has any doubts, even now, should see them and accept their decision to be in politics and leave me alone.
But अभी तो कम हो गया थोड़ा, I feel. But in the beginning, I know.
See, you'll be surprised how many times I got asked the same question. Are you actually joining politics? Are you actually going to be in politics? Which is such rubbish, I feel.
But I thought this is the right answer to say कि आप लोग इतना चाहते थे, देखो इसलिए मैंने on screen में कर दी. I'm like, देखो, you have manifested for Bholi.
On screen तो I did it
before also.
Yeah.
Madman.
Yeah, but seriously जो लोग जा रहे हैं उनको तवज्जो दे कि वहाँ भाई वो बोल रहे हैं मर के कि हम ये हमारा यही फ्यूचर है, उनकी बात मान लो.
आपको अकेला छोड़ दो.
हमें छोड़ दो.
आप कर रहे हो, आप दूसरी तरह की सेवा करते रहते हो, तो you figure out ways.
I'm not interested in that.
Of course. पर I think interesting था ये track भी, you know, to watch her go out there, this person who's trying so hard to pretend to be something that she's really not.
Yeah.
That's not her.
Yeah, that's not her, and I think it's. But it's not her. But at the same time, she realizes that true power, true money.
Yeah.
छोटी चोरी क्यों करें, अब हम बड़ा हाथ मारेंगे. That's what she feels.
Because I feel एक मोमेंट था also इस फिल्म में, अब तो डिस्कस कर सकते हैं होली के बारे में. मुझे लगता है कि जब you know the other person tries to intimidate her by touching her, and I know you can see her that she is livid, but she holds on, and there's a moment where she says that I will get my revenge. So we know that she wants this power, not just of course business बढ़ेगा, उसके पास पैसे आएंगे, वो तो है ही, but she's going to put certain men back in their place.
Yeah.
I think that, right?
Yeah.
I want to know how you thought that scene was.
I thought she's a very clever and cunning character, and if she is saying that just I win election, you know, old life back, I will be on the top of my game. In a real way, if someone is a criminal, the only way they can be safe long term is if they officially become politicians. And they, you know, there's no, then everything's kosher and everything's clean, and like, you know, that's why a lot of these, where did the Bahubali culture come into politics? So she has that attitude. And she knows that she's using the men around her to also get where she wants.
Yeah, of course.
Who's going to back her to be water minister otherwise? She can't write her own form out.
Yeah, that's telling. Also, and like I said, but she knows that once she does it, she's not going to forget the people who have done whatever to her.
Yeah, she's not.
So I like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Also like that. I think it's a good quality to have. It's good to be kind. So it's important to forgive so that you can also be at peace. But you shouldn't forget, I feel. And she has no feeling of being lesser because she's a woman.
Yeah.
So she will extract her revenge. In the first part, you see her breaking the bones of people who can't pay her back and making them stand at a traffic signal till they beg enough and pay her back.
Yeah.
That's very cruel. But it's an interesting character trait. So, you know, with Bholi, I love some aspects of her. But in real life also, I feel like you should not forget who wronged you. Because I feel if people are exposing the real face to you, you should trust them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We can't be that naive and always like say that कोई नहीं ये तो होता रहेगा.
नहीं हो सकता है होता
रहेगा,
पर इसी इंसान के साथ दोबारा हो तो आपकी गलती है.
I agree.
Once is fine, twice is a choice.
But moving on from one fascinating character to another, you have Heeramandi.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm really looking forward to it.
यार मुझे ये बात याद है कि you know you worked with him during Ram Leela
10 years ago,
and you know you had spoken about how it was just for you it was a dream to be on the set and work with Sanjay Leela Bhansali.
Yeah.
For you. Even at that time, I remember you had spoken that her.
I think all actors have somewhere this dream of working with him. And a lot of filmmakers today who make period films subconsciously are very influenced by him.
You see the work?
Yeah.
See, like for example, Karan in Rocky Rani has that entire scene where they do Durga Puja, right? He very categorically says कि ये मेरा aesthetic है ही नहीं, मैंने SLB को copy किया है, which is he very categorically says
really?
that. Yeah.
It's brave of him to admit, and it's nice. But I think it's nice when filmmakers accept inspiration. Like, I was inspired by this filmmaker's
और
work.
उनका
It's
aesthetic.
nice. It's
So
nice.
you were saying every filmmaker at the end of it, right?
Filmmakers, he's actually a very big influence in the Hindi films of the last 2 decades at least. At least. Huh?
Yeah.
When
he
did
is.
Devdas, Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam came when? A long time ago.
He has been an influence. For a
Yeah,
while.
he has been.
Also very fascinating the way with he handles the female characters. You know?
Yeah.
And I think that for you, for an actor like you, who needs to know that I am in good hands and my character is important as well.
Yeah. Well, he has a lot of empathy for his characters. He has a lot of love for his female characters. And he has a lot of love for unrequited love. So he does actually tragedies. If you look at his stuff from the recent past, apart from Gangubai, which was last year.
Gangu also has unrequited love. Gangu was in love with her boyfriend. And
Yes,
what
yes,
happened?
she was in love, but it's still not a tragedy in the sense that the woman comes out on top. She traverses life's difficulties and gets somewhere, does something for herself and uplifts others also.
Sure.
So I thought it's a very nice take on Kamatepura and the brothels.
So tell me how the world of Heeramandi has been while you're exploring it.
I'm actually, I would think, a very small part of it, but I have a very interesting track.
Yeah.
And of course, his shows, his films, this is his first show. So he's known for beauty and presenting women well. And it's set in Lahore of 1940s.
Yeah.
And I think he and I make a very good team. And I think overall the ensemble also is fantastic. I'm really looking forward to Manisha Koirala's OTT debut.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
And Khamoshi used to be one of my favorite films at the time. She was brilliant in it.
I think she was so underrated in doing films like Dil Se.
Yeah.
So many scenes completely without makeup. Yeah. There was so much going on.
She was very brave.
Very brave. Very brave. Yeah.
There, of course, there's Sonakshi, you. There are these fabulous women in it. Love all of them. Yeah. Tell me how it must have been to have of course, to be in a world of Sanjay Leela Bhansali and then have a cut, discuss your characters amongst yourself.
I think the discussions were like when there were more discussions when we had to do our solo scenes, of course, than when we had to do like a combined scene. But having said that, because he has such clarity about what he wants to do in terms of the outfit or whatever, I thought it was just stunning to be on set with all these really cool women and just rehearse with them, find different shades of the character, tap into things that are like, not cliche, like, not in a cliche way, like loneliness of a woman who works in a brothel, lack of love, not finding that respect. All those themes were very interesting to me. I hope I've been able to, humanize them a little bit.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
I love that this is happening for you also because you've always maintained that of course I want to do mainstream, but mainstream needs to have that really good mix with the focus being on great content.
Yeah.
And, for a person like you, I mean, no one can say today Gangs is considered fully mainstream, but when you did it, it was not. It was not being
considered mainstream?
Some now because it's become it's a part of pop culture, na. So, I mean, in a very different way mainstream. हम नहीं बोलेंगे कि उसको times have changed a little, right?
Fukrey is also so mainstream.
Fukrey is fully mainstream. That's
fully commercial
is Fukrey.
Yeah.
Okay, but Gangs today, because it's become such an important part of pop culture, it's still very considered to be one of the most popular films that way.
Yeah.
But when it was shot, it was still niche. वो तो बाद में सबने आके बोली कि ये यार बहुत ही बढ़िया फिल्म है ये वो and all of that, right? But you've obviously tried to make that balance very clear. And particularly now, because जब वो lull period आया था, जब फिल्में नहीं काम कर रही थी, no one was really willing to invest. We all know on films that are mid-budget. They were like, नहीं बड़ा film करते हैं.
I still don't know if people are willing to invest. Yeah, this is like Excel. They have the might to pull through their promises and promote it properly, shoot it properly, and push it out there. But I don't know if like this is a. I find this. I posted a story about it a few days ago. That I don't know if we'll have more Masans and Newtons, because on paper you'll only look at box office. First, the platforms used to say ki, come to us directly, we'll pay your premium.
Yeah.
Now they're saying there's so much unreleased stuff due to COVID. Go to the cinema, prove your strength there, then come. But to make a small film, if it costs 4 crores, to promote it properly will cost 6 crores.
Yeah.
And then you're breaking even at 21, 22 crores because of the exhibitor tax.
तो क्या करोगे?
Where are the good films gonna go? This was always the case. Like, I think in the middle, filmmakers were a little bit relieved that they can get a certain amount from OTT and secure their investment. You don't know now. So this will kill the really good cinema, which needs new actors, realistic faces. Like,
and that screen. Because ऐसे फिल्मों को अभी सिर्फ बोलते हैं आप OTT पे रिलीज कर दो.
हाँ, क्यों?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the best, honestly.
अभी वो तो that's very sad. I really
We are
hope
going
that
through a
changes.
big metamorphosis, I feel.
Yeah.
Really huge one.
It gives a little hope when movies, of course, like Jawan do well.
I love Jawan.
है ना?
हाँ.
I know you have this. You apparently went outside Mannat.
No, I have not put that out. Ali has lots of videos of me dancing in the hall and all. We went in the second week actually, but I'm such a Shah Rukh fan. That too, that one little before that Farata song, the mooch and the suit.
Yeah.
So hot.
But you went outside. So cute the two of you are.
Yeah, we are very cute.
Yeah.
I was like, take me to Mannat now. I don't care.
So cute.
If it's 12:30, he was like, yeah, let's go. I said, what will we do? And we just listen to some music and come back.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But that's great support. I know he texted and Shah Rukh Khan replied and stuff also.
To him, yeah, I was shy.
Why didn't you?
I love Shah Rukh Khan.
I know.
Who doesn't, of course,
doesn't,
but
of course.
yeah.
But you should have me. I'm sure, of course, he'll reply, Richa. Look at you behaving like, no.
No. एक तरफा प्यार की
ताकत.
तुम क्या जानो रुद्रानी.
Always, a lot of women feel
For
like
2 hours, something Ali, I was like, Shah Rukh. Ooh, Shah Rukh. Ooh, Shah Rukh ki mood, Shah Rukh ki dhoti. And Ali, after 2 hours, like, bas yaar, ab mat karo yaar. Like, take me to Mannat.
But too cute, yeah. But talking about the two of you being cute, you're releasing a documentary. I'm very excited. Listen, I have been rooting for the two of you forever. That she knows.
Yeah.
Also because both of you individually are such great humans and some that I'm really, really fond of.
Thank you.
I told Ali, gives me hope.
Yeah?
Like, yeah, I given up otherwise. I look at the two of you, nay. This, I should keep a little hope.
Every tala will find its chabi, as they say, Yeah, I think it's a miracle both of us met. We have different faiths, but we have such similar values, similar middle class upbringing, academic. Like his mom used to read a lot. My mom used to teach. There's a lot of similarities.
Yeah. So tell me what is happening in reality, as you call it. I love it.
It's nothing. It's just like because we were just like people make wedding videos. People make videos where they cover the event and the prep for it. We also started out doing that, and then it evolved into something really unique and very personal. So I'm a little bit afraid also, because I think we will both be seen in very new light. We'll be bearing our souls. So it's really unique and interesting.
But I think जिनको लगता है ना कि शादी ऐसे हो जाती है, जिनके पास पैसे होते हैं, but that's not enough. I think this will also be proof.
No, I mean, despite being sort of movie stars now, you will see us like calculating budgets for the events and trying to keep things intimate, because we both didn't want a very loud tamasha or like you know, that whole fairy tale, this
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
biggest day of my life kind of narrative. We didn't want only. We just wanted people to come and have fun.
And they did, I know.
And they did. They did.
It turned out to be the way you wanted, didn't it?
It turned out to be one of the coolest parties ever.
Just to celebrate true
I had
love.
to drop people at 4 and 5 o'clock. I was like, bus chale jao ghar apne.
I was teasing Ali the other day when I met him and I said that Fukrey will always be special. He's like, हाँ वो तो. It is the start of the love story,
Yeah,
यार.
it is the start of the love story.
But I
yeah.
think, you know, I was talking to him also and I was asking him, and he's like, ये सब मुझे बड़ा शर्म आता है बोलने में, because I was telling him,
He's quite private.
if you had to truly give advice now that you're married and everything, what would you give? And then he very kindly said, ऐसे, then he said, but in one simple line, I think that's the best. He said, you have to listen more.
You have to listen more. Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful advice.
Yeah.
है ना?
You have to listen. Yeah. You have to listen to the words and you have to listen to what is not being said also.
Yeah.
And you have to have care and empathy for each other, which will happen naturally if you truly connect with the person. Otherwise, why would you waste your time? I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have married anyone if I wasn't with Ali, if I wasn't driven enough to be like, okay, I can live with you.
Also being cheerleaders for each other. I
Yeah.
see that. I see every time.
But
he
he's
for
so
you
good,
and
yeah.
you for him.
He is so good at what he does.
He is. So are
He's
you.
so, no, I know, but I can't, like, right now, we feel very blessed, you know. That day, my parents were in town to watch Fukrey at, like, the XL screening. So we drove past Juhu, where I am currently living, in Juhu, where all, like, the movie stars live. You know, when you hear Bachchan Saab ka ghar Juhu mein and all. You're passing by, there's a poster for Fukrey. We drove a little bit further ahead, there was a poster for Khufia. You're sitting in one, you know, big car and looking at all this with your family, enjoying this moment. I was like, Ali, you know, हमें अपनी पीठ कभी-कभी थपथपा लेनी चाहिए. It's not easy, but we feel blessed, and I feel like there's a lot of gratitude there now.
100%. और I think वो दिखता भी है. Both of you are people who are thankful to the audiences and the people who've given you all chances. I think that's not something that you'll never not did.
Yeah. We are very grateful, not just to the audience, but I'm grateful to Excel and Bhansali Saab for, you know, I've worked with so many, like, popular cult filmmakers even before, but I don't think anyone saw me in the way in which SLB did.
Also इज्जत देना ना एक वो जो होता है ना कि you also art की कदर करना, artist
Izzat
की कदर
Dena
करना.
with Excel, like they are so mindful of how artists ought to be.
Yeah.
Maybe because it was a company started by 2 or 3 friends, one of whom is also an actor, you know.
Yeah.
It's those things really matter in the work culture of any place.
But of course, moving from this, let's go to international because of course, Alito is making us proud. You have one very interesting film. It's an Indo-UK collaboration. I know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's your debut because I feel you've been enough to international platforms. I wouldn't call that.
I've been to festivals, of course, film festivals, but this would be the first, like, real
international
crossover.
project like that.
Masan was also French co-production, but yeah. But it was largely, it was only shot in India and things like that. So this one would be the first one. I hope there's many more, but I just want to clarify, it's nothing like the big stuff that Ali's been doing. It's a small independent film.
Sure, but tell me a little more. I know you're working with William. I know there are a lot of people who are involved in it. Give us a tease about what it is.
I think it has a few actors from here and from the UK.
Yeah.
There's William Mosley in the lead opposite me. He's a really good actor, very hardworking. Lots to learn from him. And then there's Freddy Daruwala in another part.
Yeah.
And some actors from the UK, like there's an actress called Sarah, actor, dancer, and things like that.
But it sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it
And
is.
you were there for a while, right?
I was there for a while. I got homesick.
You got homesick? What happened?
I missed Indian food and flavor and noise and dirt and family, cats, husband, everything.
But
Abo hawa, as they say.
ठीक है, अभी काम के लिए करना पड़ता है. Now you're used to it.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
You,
But it's never fun long term.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you've been exploring new ventures for a while and nothing's ever stopped you there. So does this look very interesting for you to sort of explore more stuff?
The character was interesting to me, like looking at things like PTSD or mental health, or how war, trauma, being a refugee, being an immigrant, how it affects your psyche.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, when I watched Gully Boy for the first time, and there's that scene between Amrita Subhash and Vijay
Yeah.
Raz, where they're fighting over the new woman or whatever. It's for the first time that you see that. Otherwise, the narrative is always like, ये लोग तो ऐसे ही करते हैं. But the first time you see that there's interpersonal dynamics, it doesn't matter what class you come from. You know, in that sense, there was a lot of humanity in that gaze. So those are the things I note and I want to explore also as an actor.
What are things that you can give us a drop hints about?
There's a film with Z that I did. It's about a nurse during the second wave, and it's the story of, like, I think 1 or 2 days.
Oh, really?
It's very intense.
All right, just some fun questions. Are you ready?
Yes, let's have fun.
Okay. A quality of Richa Chadha that has changed over the last 10 years that was kind of annoying, you thought?
I used to get late a lot. That has changed.
That has changed.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's a lot better. I was early today here.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Like, it was weird, like a weird audition that you had to go through because you've given enough.
I've given enough, but also not enough. Not very many of late. And not even recently, actually. Actually, you know what? I've hardly been called by casting directors in my entire career.
Really?
Yeah, I can name on my fingers the 2 people that have called me. Actually, Hani Trehan is the reason I did Fukrey 3. Fukrey in the first part, he convinced me. And other than that, Shruti Mahajan, she facilitated me in meeting Bhansali Saab, who had an eye out for me, but she really helped. That's it.
Even in the beginning?
Even in the beginning, nothing. No.
Okay, this is so
Only,
interesting.
in fact, I've been auditioned not by casting people, but by people who were ADs on the film. Like Kanu Behel was an AD on Oye Lucky. Vasan Bala was an AD on Devdi. Like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I know.
You missed that grind. Not bad.
No, I don't know if I missed that grind or if it's good or not, but I mean, at least I know which casting directors to trust when I'm producing because at least they have a variety of options to show to the makers.
As a producer, what are a few things that you've learned over the past years and why?
As a producer, what I've learned is basically what not to do early on. That you learn as an actor also by looking at other producers. As a producer, I've learned that your job is to manage people, expectations, egos, and unforeseen circumstances.
Okay.
But I just want to do my job with honesty and integrity for sure. I want to be a producer who works with a lot of integrity.
100%.
Because I've suffered what happens when other people make big promises and try to be woke on Twitter and then checks bounce.
That. I remember your whole reel that you did on Pay. The most fun reel and so realistic.
Off camera, I'll tell you about those people now being
100%.
champions of.
I'm sure they are. Okay, Richa, a quality that you think that you've picked up today. That is something that you also admire.
Calm,
Actually, that is
patience.
true.
Yeah, I've become a lot more calm and more sorted.
An on-screen character that you most relate to and is closest to being Richa Chadha that you've done.
None.
Oh, that's the best. That's the mark of a good actor.
Nothing
no?
so far. No, nothing.
None of the qualities.
Nothing.
Which is good.
I want to do more where I can come close to myself at least. But like, you know, my last character, a bholi, a gangster.
That too is great.
Heeramandi,
I wouldn't want to.
living in a brothel in 1940s. It's not.
I think you've done this one thing with Kalki. There was
Gia.
Yeah. I always thought like you. I thought no, not at all. एक दो भी नहीं थे ना qualities.
She had a lot of. No, ऐसा नहीं है. She was moody.
Okay.
But little bit depressive, little bit foolish sometimes.
But not somebody that you could say कि नहीं यार ये मुझसे है. Fair enough, which is always the mark, sign of a great actor.
But I want to do more normal characters. Yeah.
Okay. A misconception about you that has obviously changed now when they talk to you. But what is one that they harbored for years?
that I'm actually like भोली. A lot of people have asked me this. आप real में ऐसे हो कि इतना अच्छा किया है? हाँ, and I'm like, why? Do you ask other actors? Do you ask Amrish Puri if he's Mogambo? Did you in the past? You know?
We will just take this as a very good compliment that it's a, I mean,
yeah, beyond a point, I'm just like, yeah, मैं हूँ, thank you.
बहुत गुस्से वाले, देख लेना मेरे गैंग भी है रिचा, आपके ऐसे है लोग जो आप बोलोगे
नहीं, कतई नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं.
This is a joke, please don't take this seriously. क्या पता
I don't have fan clubs fighting wars for me, abusing other actors, no.
Abusing other actors is a relief, which is just very, very toxic. Just that's another ball game, and I hope that changes. Okay, if there's one thing about the industry that you still want to change, what would that be and why?
I think we can. I think this is actually an urgent appeal to the big stakeholders. The issue that we discussed before in terms of the OTTs and the new media landscape and cinematic releases. That's something that should be looked at. And also they should look at the business model. The business model should be profitable for everyone. It shouldn't be incremental over time. It should be successful and smart from the get-go.
Yeah.
There should be grants, there should be co-production treaties and things facilitated to make things for cinema easier. It's one of the largest employers of people in the world. You know, this industry is the biggest Indian film industry with all its Tamil, Telugu, Bhojpuri, Gujarati, Hindi films. It's a huge industry and we deserve to give it support.
Absolutely. The one that I asked Ali, I'll end with that. What is one advice or one learning that you have from your gaining of what love, relationship and marriage is about? What would you tell the people?
I think it's so imperative to have the right partner because the wrong partner can be like a vampire for time and peace of mind. You know, there are some people who are addicted to drama or to complaining or to like being the victim in any scenario, and then they drain you of your energy and resources. You should have a partner that champions you, pushes you to be your best self and achieve your potential. And also keep things light and fun and interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm very happy for them. Watch reality to know more. Let me do a subtle plug for you.
Yeah, why not? If you see the teaser, which we'll drop very soon, you will get a little mushy and emo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You did? Tell me you had, but I don't know, I don't think you had to write it down, but you had one of those promise letters that होता है ना कि you write a letter.
When you see, you will know that we don't even know कि हो कैसे गया because of the events that happened. We didn't have time to do any of this. We missed out on so many things we didn't do only.
Really?
Yeah, there was some chaos. I had to do one performance at the Sangeet. Then there was no song. So they were like, अरे कुछ तो कर दो, आप तो actor हो, नाच लोगे. We did a little jig to Ambarsari and came back.
Of course, just play to the galley. अम्बरसरा लगा दो, है कि नहीं बताओ, सब खुश हो जाते हैं.
I think by then everyone was drunk anyway.
It's fine. At the end, everybody is happy. You guys are happy, and that's the best part. But looking forward to watching reality. I'm going to text you as soon as I see the trailer.
Thank you. That should be soon.
It should be soon. Thank you so much. Always lots of love, Richa.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I was on Speakeasy with Rudrani. I hope I spoke easy.
Always, like always. But looking forward to seeing so much more of you. Always.
Thank you.
Thank you.